Say this, like if you're currently in a situation where you feel as though you cannot trust that person that you're with, if you find yourself going through phones, find yourself going through the person's social media page, trying to snoop around, like who are they following, what are they liking, and I will tell you right now, run. So in today's video, we're gonna get really super personal today. I hope you're excited as much as I am. And this video is going to be all about different reasons why you should leave a relationship, right? Like if you may be in a state of limbo right now where it's like, oh, should I go, should I stay? You could be in that, or you may know someone who's currently going through that, and this video is dedicated just for you today. Okay, it's not those all those obvious things like the physical abuse, verbal abuse, those stuff, but more of like other stuff that people really has them, like they're really stuck. They're like really they're really going through, like, should I really leave or should I go, right? So the first point today that I would like to say is trust. Okay, trust. Now I've hinted a little bit on infidelity, and I'll share my previous relationship. I at some point, because I was insecure, nothing to do with him like as a person, it was just my own issues that I was experiencing. I would just find myself talking to people that I shouldn't be talking to, texting and those things, and he would find out about it, right? And I do feel like from that time, like when those certain things were happening, I do think that really affected the trust that person had for me. Okay, rightfully so. And I do realize now, like, that once that trust was broken, it was close to impossible to get it back. Now I'll say this and say, I've heard this like beautiful analogy from one of YouTubers here on YouTube, and she said that, like, she was I think she heard that analogy from another person, but I loved it so much I'm gonna share it here again. And it's that, like, trust is, when it comes to trust in a relationship, is that it's like a chocolate bar, right? So you have a chocolate bar, and it's you just bought it, it's like in perfect condition, and then it melts, right? Let's say, whatever, heat conditions, whatever, it melts. It melts, but you still have it, and then you put it in the fridge, because you still want to eat it. You put it in the fridge so it can freeze up again, so you can eat it, right? When you put it back, the melted chocolate, you can put it back in the fridge and it will freeze again, yes, but the shape of it is just, it's not the same. It's like impossible for it to be the exact same way. Once it has melted, it's impossible for the chocolate to to freeze again to be the exact same way, the way that you bought it, right? So the same thing goes for relationships. Like friendship, it doesn't have to be dating, romantic. Even when it comes to platonic, like friendships, like platonic friendships and everything, same thing. Okay, if you're dating and the person cheats, like, okay, run. Like I would say that right away. But of course, I do realize sometimes people are married, and then when you're married, I feel like it's a different thing. Like, I don't want to speak on that right now here. Married, it's different because obviously you have said your vows and everything, and it's a whole different thing. And then some couples, they choose to work through things, and but at the end of the day, like, once that trust has been shattered, it is close to impossible to get that, like close to impossible for that union to be like the same way it started. It could it changes, like, still people grow stronger, and it can happen that way, but still it just can never ever be the same, right? Now, so I would say this, like, if you're currently in a situation where you feel as though you cannot trust that person that you're with, if you find yourself going through phones, find yourself going through the person's social media page, trying to snoop around, like who are they following, what are they liking, and I will tell you right now, run. Run. I'll just say right now, like, very simply, run. You do not want to tie yourself for a lifetime to a person that you do not fully 100% trust. Can people change? Absolutely. Do you give people second chances? Absolutely. But ultimately, I do feel like those things, like when you're married, like once you're in it, it's certain commitment, devotion that you're currently not in. But if you're this is for the dating people, by the way, dating like couples. But if you're dating and already there's been stuff, could be infidelity or other things, that doesn't even have to be infidelity. It could just be, sometimes it's the way they do certain things causes you not to trust them. Could be the way they, let's say you have seen betrayal, like they may be betraying others, like deceive others, or the way they treat other people, or the way they handle their finances, certain different things. And like in your heart of hearts, you're just feel as though you cannot trust that person fully, like 100%. And right now, still dating, run. Run. The second thing is when your values are not aligned, right? Now, what do I mean by values not aligning? So values, that obviously as humans, depending on your background, how you were raised, people that are surrounding you and everything, you value certain things. Like certain things that are just absolutely important to you. One of it could be family, for example, or friendships, or the love that you have for God, or loyalty, or honesty, respect, like those things, right? Now, when you find yourself that a person that those things that are very important to you, like your top, let's say 3 values, like top important things, that these things are like non-negotiables for you, and that person it's a different set of values that they align with, and the two of you, like, things are not lining up. Like when you think about, for example, you value family, but they are okay just the two of you spending time by yourself all the time. They don't need, like, Christmas, they're okay just being with friends or just being with you, and that's it. Like, they don't care for Christmas to be around family, right? But family is big for you, right? So it's either that person changes and willing to now accommodate a family, be around family and those things, and not complain about it every time you're around your family. It's either that or it's just not going to work out. Some people value, like, different, like even the lifestyle. Like your lifestyle is, I'm introverted, I like to be at home. Like introvert and extrovert, can they date? Absolutely happy when it happens. But what I mean is that when the person is like, their lifestyle is just drinking and partying and those things, and your lifestyle is like, no, like I want to be at home, I value more watching a movie and those things. Like it's not adding up. And I've seen like too many, like so many, especially girls, I would say, that because they want to be in a relationship with someone, because they don't want to be single, they are entertaining certain things, they are accepting certain behaviors from a person that like deep down they know they're not okay with. Deep down they know they don't not like it, but because they don't want to be single, because they don't want to break up and start over the whole dating process, they are tolerating certain things that they should not be tolerating at all. Okay. The third one is when your futures are not aligned, like the plan for your future. What do you want for yourself, for your future, right? One person wants kids, you don't want to have kids. They want to have kids, you don't want kids. It's not going to work out. Or you're kind of person that you want to you're career driven, and you want to maybe be an entrepreneur or climb the corporate ladder, whatever that may be. And that he wants a stay-at-home mom. He wants somebody to be in the house all the time raising kids, right? So just from the get-go, you can just tell, like, this thing is just not going to work out. It is a cause for fights. It is a cause for misalignment, cause for just disagreements over a long period of time, of which you can avoid that from the beginning. If once you're having this conversation from the beginning, from the dating stage, you can just see that, with this person, like the things that I want for myself, it's not the things that he wants for himself. Like the vision is just not even places that you want to live, like the city you want to live, the country that you want to be in. So there's those things too. Like you can just tell, like these things, it's not lining up. It's either one person is is happy to compromise and really be okay with that compromise without ending up resenting the other person, or you can just come to the conclusion that, we may love each other, you're a good person, I'm a good person, but our values are not aligning, or our futures, like the plans for our futures, they're just not aligning, right? And because of that reason, it's best just to end things, right? You do not want to be the kind of person, like, if you're a Christian and you know that in your heart you have a calling that God has called you to, right? For example, for me, let's say right now with my YouTube channel, and I started dating a person who is not okay with me filming videos. He's not okay with me sharing and being vulnerable and open. It cannot work out. It simply cannot work out, because this is something that God has asked me to do, bring people to Christ, and all of those things. Like, so if you're against that, if you're against me for doing this and following my purpose, that's just not going to work out. And it's not going to work out. Or it's either I drop this and I'm with that person, and in the long term, I am looking back at my dream. I'm looking back at, like, oh my gosh, like I wish I did this, I wish I did that. And I don't want to live my life like that. So I just know from the get-go, it's just not going to work out. And that is okay. And the next thing is the emotional safety. I feel like I'm recording this for ladies right now. It is for ladies, yes. And for us, it is important to feel not only physically safe, but also emotionally safe, mentally safe. What does this mean? Safe enough to share your opinions. Safe, you feel safe to share your opinions, to share what's on your mind, but also to share your feelings, like your emotions, without feeling as though that person is going to either dismiss those feelings or try to act like it doesn't exist, or trying to say like give you that kind of like get over it sort of thing. And this is something that I definitely experienced with my previous relationship, that now I know even for my next one, that's just a non-negotiable. I have to feel emotionally safe with you, where I feel like I can share how I'm feeling without being judged, without being dismissed, but rather feel like I'm being validated. I am being acceptance of my emotion, validation of my emotions, affirmation of my emotions. Okay, you know, I don't know, some men, they say like sometimes, you know, when you're venting, they come up with solutions and all those things. Actually, I'm not against that. Like, I'm okay with you coming up with solutions and everything after you have heard what I had to say, after it's been acknowledged that, you know what, you were hurt, you know what, you were unfairly treated, you know what, like those things, right? Am I going to be in the wrong sometimes? Absolutely. But I do feel like sometimes when you're really in it, like when you're really, like, let's say you're really upset about something, or when you're really like, you know, like angry or sad, or that's not the time to tell that person, oh, but you should have done this, oh, you should have done that. Like, that's just not the time. That right now it's, babe, I understand where you're coming from, and I am really, really sorry that you went through that. That's what I really want to hear right now. And I felt like I never really got that. It will be like, I never really got it, or it would just be not the way that would make me feel better, or not in a way that would make me even like at some point I would feel like if I'm sad or if I'm disappointed about something, I'm afraid to share it with you because you will judge me, or I'm going to be dismissed, right? And right now for me, that's a non-negotiable in my next relationship. And you know, if you may currently be in something and you don't feel emotionally safe, you don't feel like you can open up, you don't feel like you can be vulnerable, time for you to leave, like 100% ASAP, run. The fifth thing I would say right now, if you are a Christian and you believe in God, and the person that you're with is an unbeliever, you know, they don't want to change, they have no interest in getting to know God, being God's presence and everything, run. And with this also, I mentioned here before, like sometimes when it comes to these things, like with our walk with God, it's not about just the person that goes to church, or you know, a person that can pray in tongues and those things, but rather a person where the fruits of the Spirit are displayed, right? What are the fruits of the Spirit? They are found in Galatians 5:22-23, you know, somewhere around there. But you know, love, joy, kindness, patience, long suffering, you know, those things, joy and everything. So if those fruits of the Spirit are not being displayed, self-control, that's a very big one, self-control, right? So if the person you're with, first, it could be they're not a Christian at all, or if they're a Christian but those fruits of the Spirit are not being displayed, then either they're willing to work on it and get better, or if you can sense there is no willingness at all to change, no willingness at all to learn and, you know, submit to authority. And you know, the authority doesn't have to be just the lead pastor of your church, but also the Word of God, also the Holy Spirit. They have to be willing to submit to all of that, right? There's no desire to submit to that. There's no desire in, you know, getting to know God, fearing God, loving God, like those things. My sister, run. run. We as Christians, we as believers, we have no business being entertaining people that are not born again, people that refuse to get to know God, they refuse to grow their relationship with God. We have no business with that. Trust me. When you want to break up that person right now, it may hurt really, really bad, but your future will thank you. Your kids are going to thank you. Okay? And I'm gonna give a bonus tip super quick. My bonus tip is, if you're right now in a relationship and you're in limbo, my bonus tip is follow your intuition. you know, this could be number one, but I wanted to list out all of those things, you know, just because one of the scenarios may relate to you. But follow your intuition deep within your spirit. Can you really do you really feel as though this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, right? This is the person that maybe if you want kids that you want to build a family with. Like just take time alone. Like if you believe in God as the Holy Spirit, or sometimes I find like when you take time alone, and let's say if you're Christian and you fast and you pray about it, God will reveal that to you, you know. Or you can even if you know you have a church and you have a lead pastor of your church, you can even go to them and they can give you their opinion on things. Okay, all right, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. For commenting today, what should you comment today? You can, for a comment, please make a comment. What is a reason that you feel a person that if they're going through this thing, they should leave their relationship? Okay, just please comment that today, and that will bring me so much joy, it'll make me so happy. But for now, I'm going to thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.